No one expected the announcement to shake the entire auditorium, yet the moment Jin's name echoed across the hall as the fan-favorite male artist at the Korea Grand Music Awards, the atmosphere transformed into something closer to shock than celebration. How did one man, returning to the music scene after months of silence, manage to dominate a category crowded with industry giants? And more intriguingly, why did the voting surge in the final hours in a way that analysts are still struggling to explain? The moment the envelope was opened, a flicker of confusion appeared on the presenter's face, brief, subtle, but unmistakably real. It was as if even the officials themselves had not fully anticipated the outcome. Jin, standing backstage with his hands clasped, appeared calm, but witnesses later reported that he looked strangely tense, as though already sensing a result that would change everything. How did he predict the unexpected? Was he aware of the groundswell forming quietly online, a surge driven almost entirely by devoted fans who refused to let the moment pass without victory? When Jin stepped forward to accept the award, the auditorium erupted. Cameras flashed violently, and yet even within the chaos, something about Jin's demeanor carried a deep emotional weight. Was it relief? Was it disbelief? Or was it the sudden realization that his return had resonated far deeper than he allowed himself to admit? As he held the trophy, his voice trembled, just slightly, prompting thousands watching from home to freeze and ask the same question. What had this award truly meant to him? Insiders who had monitored the voting process described an unusual pattern. Votes for Jin did not rise steadily, they exploded. In the final 30 minutes before closing, his numbers multiplied with a force so rapid that analysts later referred to it as a phenomenon rather than a trend. What triggered this surge? Some claim it was a coordinated global push by fans tracking every second of the countdown. Others insist it was an emotional response to a short clip of Jin that had gone viral hours earlier, where he spoke briefly about working harder than ever to meet expectations. Could 15 seconds of sincerity really move an entire fandom into action? As the award was placed into his hands, Jin blinked several times, attempting to steady himself, but the emotion was unmistakable. The hall grew unexpectedly quiet, as though collectively holding its breath. He began speaking with the calm professionalism he is known for, yet the rawness beneath his tone suggested there was more to the story than he was willing to reveal. Why did this particular award strike him so personally? Was this recognition something he had feared might slip away during the months he spent away from the spotlight? Jin thanked the fans first, directly, deliberately, with a kind of intensity that felt heavier than his usual gracious charm. His words were polished, but his expression revealed something unguarded, a flicker of gratitude mixed with the pressure he carries silently. Observers seated close to the stage noted that Jin's hands trembled slightly as he shifted the trophy from one palm to the other. Was it exhaustion? Overwhelming emotion? Or the shock of realizing he had won an award that industry insiders quietly predicted would go to someone else? What happened behind the scenes after the announcement only deepened the mystery. Staff members revealed that Jin remained backstage longer than planned, standing alone for several minutes, with the trophy resting quietly on a table beside him. He stared at it unmoving, as though processing the weight of everything that had led him to that moment. Was he reflecting on the pressure of the past year? Or was he trying to understand how a fan-driven triumph had become one of the defining moments of his career? The Korea Grand Music Awards is no ordinary ceremony. It is a stage shaped by reputation, longevity, and competition among the most influential artists in the nation. For Jin to rise so powerfully, so unexpectedly, raised questions throughout the music industry. Analysts now debate whether this signals a shift in public favor, a new wave of influence, or simply the unstoppable force of his dedicated supporters. Could this mark the beginning of a new era where Jin's individual impact stands as strong as his legacy within the group? What is undeniable is the emotional aftermath that swept across social media. Fans posted reactions in real time, some crying, some shaking, many expressing disbelief. Why did this win feel personal, even to those who had never met him? The answer seems simple. Jin represents more than success. He represents resilience, humility, and a quiet strength that resonates deeply with people who have followed his journey since the earliest days. Industry insiders say this award might reshape future categories. Some predict higher expectations for Jin moving forward. Others anticipate increased scrutiny as rival agencies analyze his momentum. But one truth remains unshakable. Nothing about this victory was accidental. It was built from loyalty, emotion, and the powerful connection between an artist and the millions who believe in him. As the night closed and Jin left the venue, eyewitnesses described him walking with a trophy held close to his chest, head slightly lowered, as though still absorbing the reality of what had happened. What thoughts were running through his mind? Was he preparing for the next chapter, or simply allowing himself to breathe after a moment that rewrote the narrative of his year? Whatever the answer, one thing is certain. Jin's win as fan-favorite male artist at the Korea Grand Music Awards is more than a headline. It is a turning point, a moment charged with emotion, surprise, and quiet power. And the world will be watching closely to see what unfolds next. The moment Jin's name was announced as the fan-favorite male artist at the Korea Grand Music Awards, a wave of disbelief rippled across the audience. How did a single artist, emerging quietly after months of low-profile activity, suddenly dominate a category filled with some of the strongest contenders in Korean music? What fueled the emotional surge that lifted him to the top? And why did this victory feel different? Heavier, more personal, almost as if the award carried a story the audience had not yet been told. From the very beginning, the ceremony felt unusually tense. Analysts had predicted a close race, but no one anticipated the dramatic shift in momentum that unfolded in the final hours before voting closed. Jin, known for his calm presence and understated charm, had not campaigned aggressively for the award. He had not launched a massive promotional wave or pushed for media attention. Yet something ignited within the fanbase, something powerful enough to alter the trajectory of the night. What triggered this sudden wildfire of support? Reports from the event revealed that backstage staff noticed Jin pacing lightly before the category was announced. Not out of nervousness, but out of a quiet tension that seemed to build beneath the surface. For an artist often described as unshakably composed, the shift in his expression when the presenter lifted the envelope caught the attention of everyone nearby. It was as if he already knew something unexpected was coming. When his name was called, Jin froze for a moment, just long enough to reveal the shock he tried to conceal. The applause thundered around him, but his eyes held a weight that suggested the victory meant far more than a simple accolade. Was it the culmination of months of pressure, or a moment of validation he had silently hoped for but never openly expressed? As he walked to the stage, cameras captured something rare, his lips parting slightly in disbelief,